You know, I think for me, it's frustrating how we lost. And I've been saying this all week, and it doesn't change the fact that those L's are there. But the New York Jets are they're this close. They really are. They've lost the last three games by a collective 10 points. And literally, all three games they could have won, should have won, if they didn't have self-inflicting wounds. We lose to the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we lost. At home, the Buffalo Bills are now 4-2 in the division, lead the AFC East by 2 games, I think it is now. Jets dropped to 2-4. The Dolphins are oddly enough ahead of us at 2-3 right now. You decide you know what? I'm sick and tired of it. This team can't do this to me anymore. I'm sick and tired of feeling like being in an abusive relationship. And I think for the most part, most Jets fans were done after watching that game. I think the fact that it was a competitive game, you saw improvements we were done. What do? Man, they talk about how they're going to go get therapy. They're going to do better. They're going to treat us better. They start saying all those nice words to us, and we as Jets fans get pulled right back into this relationship. The New York Jets trade for Davante freaking Adams. Davante Adams. And then you can't help but go down the rabbit hole of the what ifs, right? If we had Davante Adams earlier, we're probably 4-2 right now, or 5-1 even. That's how they get you. Just lose to the Buffalo Bills. Now we go to Pittsburgh to face off against the Steelers. We've got Davante Adams in the building, and yes, he is starting on Sunday Night Football, man. Can the Jets get back on track? Can the run start this week? I hope so. Let's talk about it.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you what a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you what a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Congratulations, brother.
And here we. So that's what it is, man. Look, I could sit here and go over the fact that Greg Zuerlein missed, 2 chip shot field goals. I can sit here and talk about how Garrett Wilson holds on to that ball in the end zone. There's a good chance we're talking about the Jets being number one right now in the AFC East. And then you added Davante Adams, which makes this entire week, the energy is just so much different. I can talk about that. I can talk about how our defense decided they didn't want to show up in the first half, but man, in the second half, did they show up, right? Holding the Buffalo Bills to a mere 3 points for the full second half of that game. Or how Aaron Rodgers has never lost a game in which he threw a ridiculous Hail Mary of 50-plus yards or more. He did that in this game as well, connecting with Allen Lazard for a beautiful freaking Hail Mary pass and catch. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The New York Jets had, I kid you not, 2 100-yard receivers. Allen Lazard and Garrett Wilson both went above 100. A 100-yard rusher. Breece Hall hit 100 yards rushing. And Aaron Rodgers, let's just call it 300. It's like 296 in terms of freaking passing yards, but let's be honest, 300 yards passing. It's controversy in regards to how the game ended in terms of, Mike Williams staying on the red line. I didn't know anything about what a red line was or what the term meant, so after hearing it, I've done some studying into it. Okay, cool. I guess he didn't follow the red line, which is what Aaron Rodgers claims he was hoping for. But if we're also being honest, Aaron Rodgers, with 1 minute and 50-something seconds left on the clock, could have easily passed the ball to Breece Hall, which was right in front of him, wide open. He could have got the first down, kept the game going. I think he wanted to go for it all because the fact that Greg Zuerlein has been a liability for us. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on. The New York Jets offense looked better. You're not going to convince me otherwise. The Jets offense looked significantly better than it has in years. Downing's put together a really great game plan, I would say, in a very short time frame. And the coaching was good. I know the penalties they're frustrating, but overall, I felt like the coaching of the team just seemed better, right? Like they made adjustments to go ahead and slow down the Bills offense. The fact that we were able to just literally march down the field time in and time again. The penalty sucked. The penalty sucked, right? You got a freaking phantom holding call by Tyron Smith, who looks like a shell of himself. That cost us a touchdown as well for Braylon Allen. It's a bunch of shooting ourselves in the foot type of penalties that have cost us games. It's self-inflicted wounds. Self-inflicted wounds. The New York Jets, I think, made the right choice by moving on from Salah. I think definitely made the right choice by getting rid of Hackett. It was the first game that Ulbrich was calling the defense while also being the head coach. Maybe that threw, him off a little bit. I just want to win games, man. I just want to win games. And you bring in Davante Adams because that's what you want to do. You want to win games, and you think that Davante Adams can make that happen. And I got to tell you, man, I think I agree. A lot of people look at this and they're like, the Jets aren't one piece away, right? The offensive line needs help. The defensive line needs help. But what if I told you that the offensive line is still a top 10 offensive line in the NFL in terms of output? What if I told you that the defensive line right now is ninth in the league in terms of pressures? And we also have the second highest sack guy on our defensive line. Those are truths. Those are facts. That's currently what we have right now. Top 10 offensive line and a top 10 defensive line in the NFL. We have the number 2 secondary. It's a number 2 defense in the NFL right now, not number 1 because of the fact that they struggle with stopping the run. But even with stopping the run, they're top 15, and they're definitely top 10 in the league in terms of yards per carry. So like, it's weird, man, because when you watch these games, you don't feel like you're seeing these things. But the Jets overall as a team is a pretty good unit. If they could only get out of their own freaking way. I don't know what's going on with Greg the Leg, but he's not Greg the Leg anymore until further notice. I've already said this before. I'm going to reiterate it one more time. That is Greg. In fact, I might be calling him Greg. That is Gregory Zuerlein. Gregory Zuerlein, to me right now, is a problem. They've indicated that they're not going to move on from him, that he is going to be our kicker. So that's frustrating in its own rights. I think we do need to go ahead and play guys like Leonard Taylor more. Leonard Taylor was arguably our best defensive lineman this past week. I don't know why we're not seeing more of this kid. I think it's time we wake the hell up and start playing Leonard Taylor a lot more. You play your good guys. You just got to. Clemens, to me, is a freaking liability. I don't want him out there 50-plus snaps per game. The guy also, another big reason we lose that game, I guess you could argue, is that Clemens doesn't know how to set an edge. When you have Josh Allen as your quarterback, he can't set an edge. Everybody, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Listen, you got to play your best guys. And it's clear as day to me that Clemens is not one of your best guys. When you got a guy like Taylor out there, I think you want to go ahead and put him into that rotation and give him more snaps. Quinnen Williams, I don't know what's going on with him. He hasn't played like the Quinnen Williams that we know. That is very concerning, right? Because you kind of need your superstar defensive tackle to do superstar things. And I don't know if we can say, well, he's getting double teamed, all that good stuff. Like that doesn't stop Chris Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't stop freaking I'm gonna brain fart now. Oh boy, with the Giants. You know who I'm talking about. I'm tired. Doesn't stop him. No, it seems. I think we just got to be honest with ourselves, man. Like, this team is good. We've seen these players perform significantly better than they performed this season. Like, Quinnen Williams is an all-pro talent. Breece Hall literally is an all-pro talent. We really haven't seen much from those two guys. Yeah, Breece had his first 100-yard game, but even Breece Hall, had a breakaway run where he should have scored and didn't score. He had one guy to beat in the open field, and he didn't do it. The Breece of old would have definitively gotten into the end zone. We got Davante Adams. I don't know if he fixes everything, but I do know he makes this team better. And I do believe the New York Jets have lost 3 games now by a collective of 10 points. 1 possession each game. And each time they were right there. And honestly, should have won at least 2 of them. At least 2 of them should have won. Gave the opportunity to Greg the Leg, Gregory Zuerlein, and he couldn't close. And I think once we get this figured out, this team is going to be a problem. And then now you add Davante Adams. with a better play caller, I believe, offensively. Ulbrich having to adjust, with the DC head coaching roles. I think he's going to have to make some adjustments and leave play calling to maybe somebody else while he's doing the head coaching thing. Like, however he does it, he's going to have another week now of preparation to kind of get into the groove of things. I think those things matter. But now you're going to play against the Steelers, a team that is very well coached. We're going into their house. By the way, I'm going to be at that game. I'm excited for that. Looking to chop it up with the Gotham City crew, JJ, Dano, Dan. This is going to be fun. My brothers-in-law are going to be with me as well. They're Steelers fans, but looking forward to chopping it up with Jets fans at the Steelers game on Sunday. But this is going to be a tough one. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is a must-win game. Now, last week I said that the Bills game was a must-win game predominantly because I felt like if we win that game, we're in the driver's seat of the division and obviously into the playoffs. Now it shifts to a must-win because if we want a chance at the playoffs, you got to win this game. You got to win this game. I think you're going to need 10 to 11 wins to go ahead and make at least a wild card this year. I think 11 wins secures it. 10 wins, you might need some help to go ahead and secure one. I think 12 wins can win the division if the Bills start to slip up a little bit and we go on a run. With Davante Adams here, you're going to see the running game get better. You're going to go ahead and see Garrett Wilson match up against slot cornerbacks or the team's number 2 option, which is only going to allow him to get open consistently and easily. Less double teams. If you want to go ahead and double team Garrett and you want to go ahead and double team freaking Davante, it literally opens up the running game because now, you know what I'm saying, you can't have that extra body in the box. So the running game gets opened up for Brandon Allen and for Breece Hall. I think the Davante Adams trade also helps the defense. Now you got an elite guy who's been doing it at a high level, literally number 1 wide receiver in the league for several years, matching up against Sauce Gardner, RDBs, making them even better, even though we have the second best secondary right now in football in terms of the passing attack or passing defense. You get Davante Adams in the building, you get to learn some things, right? To make your skill sets better. I feel like at this point, you got to look at it. The Davante Adams trade, I mean, we knew it was coming. I wish it happened sooner. But Davante Adams comes in. He's already been practicing. He already told us from jump he's going to be playing on Sunday night. Ulbrich has already said he's playing on Sunday night. The team got better. The team got better. A team got better that literally lost 3 games in a row by a collective of 10 points. And literally, man, those 10 points were self-inflicted wounds, because you had opportunities to win those games. I said it before and I'll say it again. The New York Jets have only been beaten once this season. They got beat by the 49ers. Game 1, 49ers beat the crap out of us. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But the Jets have lost to 3 other teams. They literally have lost because they literally won control of those games and they freaking gave it away. They lost to 3 other teams. The 49ers have never had a chance. That game was a wrap. We got our asses beat. So now what are our chances? What can we do? I think when it comes to the advantages, this is going to be one of the tougher games. I don't believe the Jets have the coaching advantage. I don't believe the Jets have the defensive line advantage. I can't even necessarily say the Jets have the advantage when it comes to freaking defense in general. I just think the Steelers defense is more consistent. I think we're a higher rated total defense than them, but ultimately they're disciplined. Man, TJ Watt is a force. Like, he's a freaking game wrecker. That's going to be a problem, I think. I look at this matchup and I think the odds are against us. I do, man. And we're in iconic Heinz Field. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it still Heinz Field? I think it's named something differently now. If I'll fix that in the edits. But it's an iconic location, man. Steelers is one of the oldest, if not the oldest team in the AFC. They're well coached, man. Mike Tomlin to me is one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. They're well coached. Whether it's Justin Fields or Russ Wilson, we're still trying to figure that part out. I think it's going to be Justin Fields. I think the whole Russell Wilson thing is more of a charade. But either way, you're dealing with a mobile quarterback. I don't know, man. This is going to be a tough ask. I don't know if the Jets have the dogs for this one. I don't. I'm literally right now doing this video on hope. Purely hope. I'm hoping that the Jets freaking showcase that their skill set, because they've got the better receivers, we got the better running backs. I'd say they got the better tight ends. I'd say they got the better offensive line, the better defensive line. We got the better quarterback. Linebackers, wash. Secondary, I think we have the better secondary, but they're healthier. Like it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be close. I don't think it's gonna go ahead and be a high scoring game either. It's gonna be a defensive oriented game this week. Um, I'm gonna go with my heart here. Vice logic. I'm going to choose to believe that Ulbrich gets it figured out week 2. Dobbins with another week of preparation gets this offense really clicking, and the Jets pull this one off. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be 17-14 New York Jets. 17-14 New York Jets win this game. I've got nothing to go ahead and tell you this is why, because right now the only advantage I really feel we have is at the quarterback, the wide receiver, the running back position, that I can confidently say, like, yeah, we hold those advantages. 17-14 New York Jets. I'm headed out there tomorrow. Gonna be in Pittsburgh for the next 3 days. So looking forward to that. The Jets need to win this game. Like, season's really on the line right now. So Jets win. We're 3-4. Patriots are up next. I think the Bills and the freaking Dolphins are going to win this week too. Patriots, I think, are going to catch an L. Yeah, man, the run starts now. The road to the wild card starts this week, and I think Davante Adams is definitively going to help us get there. Man. Go Jets.
Congratulations, brother.